We've been told many things about Jesus Christ and his family and his bloodline, but the one thing that people don't know about or seem to want to discuss is what happened after the resurrection. For surely a man who has submitted himself to a gruesome death like crucifixion and then rise on the third day, which is no small feat, it is an absolute miracle. There must have been something else that Yeshua, came to earth to achieve other than just the resurrection. What happened after he came to life? There are records of many people in and around Judea who saw Christ after the resurrection. We of course have the famous story of Thomas wanting to touch the Lord's wounds to make sure that he wasn't just seeing a ghost. So here we have an example that his physical body was returned to him. He came back to life in the physical, and his miracle was so that he could go on and fulfill the rest of the Messiah's prophecies, which were to search for and unite the lost tribes of Judea. And this was the one final piece of the missing puzzle that was part of the messianic prophecy that Jesus needed to fulfill in order to actually be called the Messiah. So after the resurrection, we have documents that prove that he was later seen in both Egypt and the south of France, where there were many Essene communities and Jewish communities which had sprung up out of the people who had fled persecution in Judea, and also in Kashmir, India, which was said to be the Valley of the Gods, the land of milk and honey, and it is where Moses lived and is buried. So it would have been quite natural for the Messiah after the resurrection to go in search of his lost people, the lost sheep, as one might say, to re-inspire them. And he did this. So, of course, in all of this, we must remember that Jesus's wounds would have caused him great difficulty for the entirety of his life. Yes, many people say that because he was such a great healer, that he would have healed himself, or that God would have healed him of his wounds. But this is just not so. For Jesus's wounds and his humility were a part of his cross to bear, if you like, a reminder of the cruelty of mankind and the fickleness of this world and of the minds who lead it. So Yeshua's wounds were very much a part of his spiritual advancement and his journey. It was said that he bandaged his wounds every day for the rest of his life, and he had to walk with a cane. He was a cripple for the rest of his life. This is documented in India, and in one Buddhist temple in Hemis, the priests who lived with Jesus after the crucifixion were said to be great healers and used special healing herbs and anointed his feet with these compresses to help Jesu continue on with his life mission, and he did.